Hey everyone. So here's another one for my playlist collection called All About Faith, where I want to talk about this phrase, in faith. Where again, if you have the Devar software and you search the phrase in faithing in quote marks, you get 30 hits on this phrase. And then if you add the article the in the faithing, we find 22 hits, for a total of 52 total hits of this phrase, in faithing. Where, note, in italics here is not in the text. But down here we see occurrences where the in is not in italics, which is from the preposition en, en. And en governs that which is located in something. Where here's the Greek preposition chart that I use a lot, where if this circle was faith, to be inside here would be in faith, en. To be apo, away from faith, would to be going away from faith. Faith is something that has to be abiding in. So Paul says, but she will be saved if, condition, they abide in faithing, en. Now, when we find the word in italics here in the Devar, well, again, the preposition is not preceded. But the reason it's added, and it says here by means of, is because the noun here is parsed in what's called the dative case. So the word justified here is a verb. So the word justified as the verb is what the noun faithing in the dative is modifying. So it shows the relationship of the indirect object of the verb. So for we reckon a human to be justified, this is the verb, by means of faithing, without works of the law. Notice how many of the occurrences of the dative noun faithing is found in the so-called hall of faithing here in Hebrews chapter 11. 18 total occurrences. In faithing, in faithing, in faithing, in faithing, etc. Here, by means of faithing, Abraham, as one being called, was below hearing, which means obedient to the faith, to come out into the place which he was about to take, etc., etc. Noah, for example, by means of faithing, Noah, receiving verification concerning the things not yet look seen, which also defines faith, according to verse 1 here, concerning matters of fact not being seen, he prepared the ark. So he wasn't saved and then did this. He prepared the ark before he was saved with the 8, by means of faithing. By means of faith, Abraham, being tempted, had offered up Isaac, and he, having received the promises, offered up the only begotten, his son, Isaac. So, Abraham our father, was he not justified out of works by means of faithing when he brought up Isaac his son on the altar? You see that faithing works together with his works. And out of the works, the faithing was accomplished. So, by means of the faithing, you can't have one without the other. Faithing is not without works. Faithing is also not a gift. If you're having a knee-jerk reaction to that statement, and then you're thinking about Ephesians 2:8, well, watch this video, 16, where I show in the Greek parsing syntax, Paul is not referring to faith as a gift in this verse. Then watch this video, 159, Faith is Not a Gift, where I talk about the verb form of faith, Pisteuo, which we find like over 250 times, where in this video I was talking about the noun form. Where, to close out this video, let's come back to Romans chapter 4. Let's talk more about Abraham. He who beside expectation, faithed, this is the verb, on account of expectation, not hope, expectation, to his becoming father of many nations, according to that having been taught, thus will be your seed, and not becoming weak in the faithing. So faithing is something that can become weak. But with respect to the promise of God, he was not misled to thoroughly judge in unfaithing. So here the preposition apo now governs that which would be going away from faithing, which is apostasy. But he was innerly enabled in the faithing, by means of the faithing here. So understanding these prepositional elements is extremely important. And if you don't have the Devar software, you're not seeing all these subtle differences. So if you're interested in the software, watch my video 090 here, where if you click on the video and you look in the comment section, I provided a link and a password right here to a file share site called HiDrive, where you can download installation files for Mac, PC, and Android. It's absolutely free. Thanks for watching, sharing, liking. God bless.